Coming up, the Idaho Department of Labor held a hiring event in the Magic Valley today. We'll have the full story.
And with concern of drought throughout the state, we take a look at snow runoff levels. What you need to know.
Plus, after not having a state tournament last year, local softball teams are battling out in the Treasure Valley.
Putting you first. You're watching KMVT News with Joe Martin and Brittany Cooper. This is KMVT News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for tuning into your news at 6 tonight. I'm Brittany Cooper.
And I'm Joe Martin. The buzz continues across the nation and Idaho about the lack of people working and the dire need for businesses to fill empty positions. And while many local companies are trying to recover from the pandemic, the Idaho Department of Labor is hoping an event today will help get things started. KMVT's Elizabeth Hadley takes us to the Magic Valley Hiring Fair and why professionals say time is running out. And that's tonight's top story.
A packed day for a Friday afternoon at the Magic Valley Mall, but instead of shopping, it was all about jobs.
Exactly. With more sales, we need more people to take care of our guests and cook our fantastic food.
Seeing that need, the Idaho Department of Labor decided to step in and hold a hiring event at the Magic Valley Mall.
Well, the employers in the Magic Valley have been having a hard time trying to find employees. And so we've kind of reached out to all the employers, kind of got the feedback, and they finally saying we are in desperate need of employees. So we wanted to be that liaison between the employers and the workers that are looking for work.
More than 30 businesses came out to the hiring event, everything ranging from agriculture, fast food, and retail. And while they are thankful for more patrons, everyone I talked to say they are overwhelmed.
Business has been awesome. It's been up. I think people just want to get back to normal and get back to shopping. And so they've been coming in herds. It's been awesome. We're just trying to keep up with it.
The companies were hopeful people would apply, as many high schools and colleges are now finished for the year.
So we have seen pretty steady growth. It's been about like 20 to 25% growth. And that's not just like this spring. It's kind of continued even once we kind of got through that first bad stretch of the pandemic where everything was shut down. We just continued to grow. So we've been very fortunate that way.
Elizabeth Hadley, KMVT News.
Now, the Idaho Department of Labor plans to hold another hiring event late summer and before the holiday shopping season begins.
Now, your KMVT First Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Eric Brill.
Well, we have seen some showers across southern Idaho over the past hour or so, hour and a half, and still not seeing anything sort of severe at this point. Still keeping an eye on showers, though. We did get a brief shower here at the station. It really wasn't anything more than a little moderate shower for about 10-15 minutes, and that was it. That given shower continues to race to the north and Shoshone. You're getting a little damp right now, as well as over towards the Richfield and Cary areas. Could see a little bit of lightning and thunder within there as well. I guess see the lightning and hear the thunder out there in the distance. As a whole, as we head deeper into tonight, the anticipation is that we're going to see more shower and thunderstorm activity develop, especially after about 8 o'clock or so. Notice that futurecasters have some of those oranges and reds indicating some of that heavier rain that does look to be a possibility. So be aware if you are headed out tonight, especially after about 8 o'clock or so, could be seeing some more of those showers and thunderstorms. But is the weekend going to be a soggy one? I'll talk more about that coming up here at about 6:15. Joe, back over to you.
All right, thanks. As the snowpack runoff continues, much of Idaho is far below their normal runoff. Senator Jim Risch spoke with KMVT and said water is very important to Idaho and the western U.S. Much of Idaho, including the Big Wood and Little Wood, are about 50% or more below average for snow runoff compared to normal. He did say there are some other parts of the state to the north that did fairly well for the low amount of snow that we saw this winter. He went on to explain that those in the ag industry watch closely the snowpack year-round to properly plan for the upcoming crop seasons.
Farmers are pretty good about being resilient, picking a crop in a given year, particularly in a year like this where you can actually see ahead that it's going to be short. Plant a grain instead of something that takes a lot more water.
He added there are a lot of programs within the Department of Agriculture that do act as a safety net for farmers in the event of a disaster or drought. Well, the state softball tournament kicked off today, and there is plenty of local representation. Because of that, putting you first, our sports department has been in the Treasure Valley all day long. Brittany.
That's right, and getting drenched while we were at it. But it's really been nonstop action and some surprises, but local teams are definitely making us proud. Jack Schemmel is there with more on how the early games went down.
We start in 4A. Minico in their first state tournament since 2005. Bishop Kelly their opponent. Bottom one, Bishop Kelly with runners on first and second. Amber Wickel gets a ground ball. Could it be two? One out, but then the ball gets away, and Casey Jolly scores for the Knights. Wickel would settle in and get a couple more strikeouts, but Bishop Kelly breaks out and wins this one 11-1. In another 4A game, it's Twin Falls and Blackfoot. Top three, no score, but Twin has runners on second and third. Aubrey Fuchs goes opposite field, one run in, and then an error brings in Brinley Iverson to make it a 2-0 game. But after being down 3-0, Blackfoot comes back to beat the Bruins 4-3. Over to the 2A tournament at West Park, Declo playing Firth in the first round. First inning, Declo already up 3-0. Bases are juiced. El Brass shoots one into right. It's a gapper. Base is clear. 6-0 Declo now in the first inning. But the Hornets are not done. Caitlin Coyle puts one down the line. Two more score for Declo. They put up 11 in the first inning and go on to cruise to a 17-1 win over Firth. Jack Schemmel, KMVT Sports.
Well, Minico sadly has been eliminated after the 17-6 loss to Century. The Bruins bounced back and eliminated Lakeland from contention with a final 20-6. Twin Falls is playing right now in another loser-out game. In 2A action, Declo fell to Bear Lake 17-4. They're also playing right now in a loser-out game. Well, coming up, a full softball recap from Boise involving the top two teams from 2019, plus an update on Canyon Ridge Baseball at their first ever state tournament.
Plus, as far as the weather is concerned in southern Idaho, the Rob Green Sky Cam has some interesting looking scenery pointed to the north of that one shower that is near Shoshone. As noted, nothing severe. We're in business here, folks. More on your forecast coming up here in a few minutes.
Market Update, sponsored by the financial advisors at Waddell & Reed.
Over at Timberline High School, we have the 3A state tournament. Your 2019 state softball runner-up going first in the Gooding Centers. Gooding winning via a play-in game, taking on the #1 seed from the north in Timberline. After a long but uneventful inning, Gooding trying to close out the game in the fifth, up 10-0. But Remy Carter isn't satisfied. Her older sister Jamie smacked a home run earlier in the game, and she joins the party. Two-run shot to right field makes it a 12-0 ball game, and her teammates await her return to home plate. Same inning, 2 on for junior Alex Rowe. All the Timberlake left fielder can do on this one is just put her hands up in the air, and Rowe tacks on 3 RBIs to the stat sheet. The Senators lead 15-0, and that would end up being the final in 5 innings. Malin Durham, the pitcher for Gooding today, complete game shutout, but she did have some pressure placed on her in the 4th with the bases loaded.
I knew that if they did hit, that I would have the team behind me, and just whatever happened would happen, but we would come out on top.
With the win, the Senators would have a 2-game break and await the winner of this next game. Filer seeking back-to-back titles, but only feature 2 from that 2019 squad. They open the tourney with Weiser, the Wolverines striking first after a leadoff walk. Whitney Cortez goes oppo. Hannah Swank scores easily, and Cortez ends up at third with a triple. Then Filer starting pitchers. Sammy Taylor responds with a strikeout of Ivy Morris. 1 out now. Macy Maloney trying to bunt, pops it up. Taylor fires over to first to get the double play, but it's dropped, and Cortez scores easily, taking advantage of the error. 2-0 game. It was a rough start for the Wildcats, but they definitely rebounded, scoring 3 in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th to advance in the winner's bracket with the final of 9-8. The Wildcats would end up facing the Senators this afternoon, and Filer has no problem with its rival, winning 8-2. They play in tomorrow's semifinals starting at 10 a.m. The Senators are playing right now in a loser-out game. Well, the talk of the town is the 4A baseball tournament at the College of Southern Idaho. Yesterday, Canyon Ridge won in their state debut, while Twin Falls knocked off the reigning state champ. This afternoon, the Riverhawks play Columbia in the semifinal game. Winner goes to tomorrow's championship. The Riverhawks, the visitors this afternoon. First inning, Alex Alcala gets picked off at first. Not a good start. Stephen Garrett Lagrone on the hill, but having control issues early on. Then Isaiah Capatillo enjoys a walk to first, but later in the inning, Mateo Scott delivers what looks like a catchable ball, but the left fielder lets it drop in front of him. 1 run scores, but the Riverhawks do get the runner at second base. Right now, Canyon Ridge is down 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th. The winner faces the winner of Bishop Kelly Twin Falls tomorrow at 4 in the championship game. Joe?
All right, coming up, find out how the Ketchum community is coming together to support their local gems.
Plus, temperatures around southern Idaho are quite a bit cooler than that up 24 hours ago, at least throughout the Magic Valley. We have even cooler days ahead. We'll talk about that coming up after the break.
And now, your KMVT forecast with Chief Meteorologist Eric Brill.
Well, showers and some thunderstorms have been moving around southern Idaho here over the past few hours. Haven't seen anything severe. Some stuff has been on the stronger side, especially down into the south hills of Cassia and Twin Falls County. That one given storm that was along the Cassia-Twin Falls County line moved itself through Kimberly and Hanson as well as Twin Falls, and it's been riding up 75 towards Shoshone now. And that given storm's kind of actually faltered a little bit. It's kind of losing a little bit of the juice that it does have to the northeast of Shoshone at this point. But now we got this little line that's stretching from Cary through Craters of the Moon and almost reaching that of northwestern Minidoka County. This little area just started to evolve, so can't really put exactly a projection as to where this is going to go, since literally it did just come about. I'd imagine though, since a lot of the flows of these showers has been from the south up to the north, this is probably going to be headed towards more so Craters of the Moon and Cary over the next little bit. So if you are in those general areas, not expecting severe weather, but just be aware some heavier rain will be possible within these cells. Temperatures, obviously when it comes to showers and thunderstorms, you may not necessarily think of these, but when it comes down to it, typically warmer conditions and overall more sunshine results in that of shower and thunderstorm development. And you see these temperatures. Obviously, nobody's ever going to get confused of the 40s and 50s as being all that warm. But really what we have going on and why these showers and thunderstorms are developing. So let's just, for numbers, just go along with it. Let's say it's 50 at the surface of the earth. About 5,000 feet above the ground, let's just say it's typically 30 degrees. So there's about a 20-degree difference within there. Today, it's a 50 and more like a 15 or a 0, or even colder than that. So the gradient, the temperature gradient from the surface or where we're at with respect to the earth to say 5,000 feet up, it's a very drastic difference. And that results in some of those showers and thunderstorms popping up relatively quickly. It's kind of what we're seeing right now. The anticipation is that we're going to see more of these showers and thunderstorms as we roll deeper into tonight. Here we go, futurecast by 10 p.m. Notice into say that of Cassia County over near Idaho, as well as Declo and Burley, Rupert, that general area in the Mini-Cassia region, as well as over towards Lincoln, the Magic Reservoir, and even over into Gooding, Jerome, areas like that. That's when we're going to see more showers and thunderstorms start to develop. I do want to caution you and say that this is just a model. Mother Nature's going to do, quite frankly, whatever she wants. So just because you see your given town that has a shower or storm doesn't mean 100% concrete that you are ultimately going to see that. So when it comes down to it, after about 8 p.m. or so, from about 8 p.m. till about 1 in the morning, be aware that there will be some showers and storms around southern Idaho. As far as Saturday is concerned, quickly going through that, think the western side of the viewing area. So Gooding County, northern Lincoln, western Lincoln, western Jerome, and western Twin Falls County ultimately have a better chance of showers than, say, that of the Mini-Cassia region for Saturday. Town-by-town forecast for Saturday. Some snow is going to mix into the Woodford Valley, in which once you really get above 8,000 feet, that's where those snow totals will really add up. In the mountain towns and cities, yes, the possibility of seeing snow will be there, but as far as it accumulating, don't think we're going to see much of that. Northern Magic Valley has the best chance of showers. Twin Falls County really not too far behind that. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer than what they ultimately topped off at today, but still they're going to be well below average for this time of the year. 7-day forecast, Woodford Valley, not a great weekend ahead, and even as we head into early next week, breezy weather conditions will continue. It also will start to turn warmer, so glass half full mentality. We're going to not necessarily see quite late May temperatures, but at least we're headed in the right direction. Breezy weather conditions expected through the weekend and Monday. Do want to note, as we move towards later next week, of course, some graduations, Memorial Day festivities, getting closer to that. Looks like the weather should start to turn more into a cooperative fashion. So Brittany, even though we're going to be active here over the next few days, looks like some nicer weather should be around by the end of next week.
Great when I'm less busy. Thank you. Well, spring in Idaho always brings signs of new life. Trees and flowers are in bloom across the valleys, but it's not just high pollen counts that keep outdoor experts worried during this seasonal transition. Idaho Fish and Game also wants to warn those trekking outdoors to be alert for wildlife and their surroundings and to avoid rare but serious negative wildlife encounters. Terry Thompson of Idaho Fish and Game wants to remind those that keep their senses about them and be informed about where you are before getting there in order to know what dangers you could be facing.
We've lived in Idaho for many, many years, and attacks onto people are very rare. But with more and more people out recreating in the woods, we just want to make sure that we keep that record of none to very low numbers of attacks.
Thompson says simple steps like having bear spray, looking for scat or prints, and making noise while walking can be major keys in keeping you safe.
All right, Idaho cities are looking to uplift their small businesses after a difficult year. KMVT's Zach Brule went to Ketchum to see how the statewide Idaho Gems initiative is helping get small businesses back to normal.
Today, the city of Ketchum is promoting its small businesses by encouraging residents and visitors to thank local business owners for overcoming all the challenges that the past year has brought. Christina Cook, owner and operator of Christina's, says this past year has been the hardest she's faced in decades.
It's been very challenging to deal with the challenges that came with it. And for the first time in 32 years, I closed for 2 months.
Mayor Neil Bradshaw released a statement about how important small businesses are to Ketchum, saying, quote, "We have all been through very challenging times, and our local businesses have suffered greatly. Let's take every opportunity to support them." While the past year did have a negative impact on many businesses, some in Ketchum saw the opposite effect as people flocked to the destination for refuge from the pandemic.
We were not expecting a big rush of people, obviously, but there was a lot of people just coming to camp out and be in the wilderness while the city wasn't, all shut down. So yeah, it was a crazy summer.
Whether or not the last year has been tough, many in Ketchum are optimistic this summer will be a great high season for business.
It will be busier. People will have more freedom just because most of us are all vaccinated. And yes, and then yeah, we're expecting and getting ready for big crowds.
Zach Brule, KMVT News.
Coming up, it's time for this week's Fit and Well Idaho. Find out why having a primary care doctor is key to long-lasting health.
All right, here's the latest COVID-19 numbers from the state of Idaho. At last check, the total number is 191,068 coronavirus cases. Of those, 168 were reported new. In total, 110,466 have recovered from the virus. However, the death toll stands at 2,080. So far, 1,189,080 vaccine doses have been given out in the Gem State. Now, if you're curious to know the number of COVID cases county by county, you can find that at KMVT.com.
Well, having a good relationship with your primary care doctor will improve your health, says one doctor at St. Luke's Magic Valley. And that's the focus of this week's Fit and Well Idaho report.
This Fit and Well moment is brought to you by St. Luke's.
By having a good relationship with your primary care physician, the decisions made about your health care will be done together with an understanding of why you need to see a certain doctor or specialist. To form a better relationship, it's important to be honest with your doctor at all times, even if you're scared about what they might say.
The key for patients is to find a provider you mesh with and you can talk to, and also to not be over intimidated to ask a question or to share a concern, and then gauge that response. Most providers are very willing to engage at that kind of level. So it just takes a little give and take on both sides.
Then if a major medical event does occur, your doctors can more effectively treat your illness because they already have an understanding of you and your health. We'll be right back.
All right, some updates for sports.
Yeah, sadly, Canyon Ridge, the miracle of being at state kind of came to an end in terms of trying to get a title. They fell 5-0 to Columbia, but they play for third tomorrow at 1. And then Twin Falls goes to battle at 7, Eric. So what's the weather going to be like tonight?
Keeping my fingers crossed we're going to be able to stay dry with respect to that, but time's going to tell, honestly, how it's going to play out. So line of showers kind of stretching from the Mini-Cassia region up to the north towards that of Cary. So this given line of showers does have the potential of eventually moving off to the west. For the time being, it is scooting up to the north, though. I do think it is eventually going to move to the west, so be aware of that if you are indeed headed to the game this evening. Good idea bringing a rain jacket and or an umbrella. Well, maybe not an umbrella, but a rain jacket without a doubt. As far as the weather looks for that of Saturday, temperatures still look to be on the cooler side. A little bit warmer than that of today. And as far as the 7-day forecast is concerned, not really a great weekend, not a great start to the week, but as the end of the week does come about, the weather does look to be a bit more cooperative.
All right, that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Enjoy your evening.